Sean Coffey was one of the most feared lawyers in corporate America. He's the plaintiff's attorney who recovered more than $6 billion for victims of the WorldCom fraud and won settlements from Arthur Andersen, Enron's auditor. Now Coffey is eyeing a run for Attorney General of New York State, a role in which he could be even more of a thorn in Wall Street's side. And we're going to find out what Sean Coffey thinks and what his ambitions are, because he's with us today right here at Bloomberg. Sean, glad to have you here. You've been raising money for several months now, since November. What needs to happen before you make a formal decision to run for Attorney General? And are you, in fact, going to make a bid for that job?
Well, I am running for Attorney General. As far as a formal announcement, we're going to wait for Andrew Cuomo to formally announce he's running for governor. But I've suspected for some time that there was going to be a vacancy.
Well, good way of putting it.
We imagine maybe you are not going to win any popularity contests on Wall Street. What do you expect your relationship to be with the community?
Well, I'm not so sure I agree with the premise. What I've done for the past decade or so is, in my view, gone after some of the bad apples. And obviously, seeking statewide office in New York, I'm very mindful that Wall Street is our biggest and most important industry. But in my view, picking off those who cross the line, break the law, makes the world safer for those on Wall Street who obey the law, which I think is the vast majority of folks. So I don't see any inherent battle or conflict that's going to come. People know that if they cross the line, I'm going to go after them very, very aggressively. But for those who play by the rules, not to worry.
That said, though, Sean, now, I should add, a lot of people would agree with your sentiments there, and they'd like to see that kind of thing happen. But Eliot Spitzer and Andrew Cuomo have both put Wall Street in their sights, and they've made policing Wall Street one, it would seem, the highest priorities on their list. Would it similarly stand at the top of your list of priorities?
It would certainly be very high on the priority list. But let me be clear. I'm running for Attorney General because I'm very, very unhappy with what's going on in Albany. I think it's a mess. It's only gotten worse. And the reason I'm getting off the sidelines and leaving the comfort of private life to get into the public arena again is because of Albany. That said, it's clear that the New York Attorney General plays a very significant role in policing Wall Street, and I intend to carry on that tradition.
What is it in Albany that offends you most right now?
Oh, boy, we don't have enough time. There's such a disconnect between the people that we've sent to Albany and the people who sent them there. It's dysfunctional. It's actually disgraceful, and it's only gotten worse in the last few days. And so until we have an Albany, a state government that responds to the voters, we're not going to fix high taxes. We're not going to deliver services at a reasonable level. And so I view myself as an agent of change. I believe I was that in the plaintiffs' bar. I believe I was that on Wall Street. I believe I was that when I was in the Navy, which I did for 30 years in various capacities. And so I want to go to Albany as an agent of change and fight for two things I fought for on Wall Street: transparency and accountability. We don't have those in Albany, and I intend to go up there and fight for those.
Well, Sean, obviously everybody has to try and make a difference, but with about 30 seconds before we need to take a short break, how much can you accomplish as one man?
Well, it would take a team, but I think I could be a leader of the team, much as I was in the WorldCom case, and much as I was as a federal prosecutor, much as I was as a commander of a squadron in the Navy. And I think you need someone who sets out bold principles and works hard to accomplish them. I'm going to do that if I'm Attorney General.